Here.
Poesía. Poetry. Greek meaning. Poesía. I create, yo creo, conveying love, at times some anger, lyrical yet magical methods of manifestations. I love it. A way of remembering, holding on to memory, preservation is called poetry. Predating literacy in many languages, 9 elements of poetry, alliteration, assonance, consonants, figurative language, poetry. I love the imagery. Rhyme with me, feeling the rhythm, sometimes bongos, but today cover me. I'm going in with drums and violins. I'm Dr. Poetry, I dancer while I write a stanza, choosing wisely my tone, bailando el son, escuchando la clave. Poetry, feeling the recentering rapidly to the movement of my pen as I express my thoughts through poem. What many refer to poetry, but was Latin really derived from the Romans? Negative, it's from the Phoenicians. La ching realmente no derivó de los romanos. After all, aren't we all hermanas y hermanos? Honors to all languages as we keep creating. We may all be speaking, but are we really communicating? I see you over there playing investigator all in my hair, pero yo no me ha muerto para que me estén velando. Entiendo lo que estoy falando, mi filia. Fica con calma, nene. No fica así, no. No fica con rabia, no. No one is shaming you for speaking different languages that connect us all. There's always truth in the lie, and I choose to rely on my frequency. But for me, it's the ability to express my thoughts in several languages. After all, the point of it all is to connect and not disconnect. Protection for the connection. Embrace my affection. In poética dieri, soy doctora poesía. Soy la doctora poesial. ¿A qué aconteció como lengua latina? Ella es extinta. What happened to the Latin language? Is it extinct? Is it dead? Está muerto. Que un herculano inició de latín. ¿El dónde veo? ¿De dónde vino? Phoenician derived, said the Romanos. So they added CIC to create a romantic language of French, Romanian, Spanish, and Portuguese. There's always truth in a lie, and I choose to rely on my frequency to embrace all dialects, accents that beautifully remind us of our diversified ancestry. Poesía sounds like a lot, right? I love it. Speaking Latin, Portuguese, and Spanish, but where did it come from? Phoenician. No one is shaming you for speaking different languages. Ninguém tá falando mentira, meu filho. Fica com calma, neném. Da mão não fica assim, não. There's always truth in the lie, and I choose to rely on my frequency. Frequency. Ninguém me está avergonhando você por falar diferente. A linguagem que nos conecta a todos. Yo amo poesía con toda mi alma. Poesía. Feel free to hate on me. I'm Dr. Poetry, and I love poetry.
Hey.
What's going on?
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Let's dance a little bit, y'all. You know we're gonna dance a little bit right up in here. Come on, Chizzy. Come on, COSMIK, y'all. Just hear me out poetry time. Let's go. Hey.
Momento en que despierto, antes de maquillarme, una oración te hago para ti, mi amor. Mientras peino mi largo cabello y pienso en que necesito ponerme, pido a Dios otra oración que te cuida y protege en mi corazón. Tú estarás en mi corazón, te amaré por siempre, siempre. Nunca me de ti.
I love it, y'all. How's everybody doing? Welcome to Hear Me Out Poetry. Chizzy, COSMIK. What's happening?
We are here. Woo!
How y'all feeling? How's everybody doing? What's going on?
Beautiful.
Y'all got some rest? You got some rest? Everybody got some rest?
Got a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit.
A little bit. Listen, we're the poets that don't sleep.
Right? It's true.
Is there something going on, COSMIK, with the stars and the what's going on with the alignments? Because we've been
something got to be going on with the alignment.
A lot. There's a lot of retrogrades all at once, but there's a lot of stuff happening.
I know I've
in
been
these
kind of like,
zones.
yeah, I'll sleep for like 2 hours and it feels like I slept for 8. And then I'll wake up at 3 in the morning like, hi, it's time to go to work. Oh no, it's 3 in the morning. What am I doing up?
Right.
So I write.
Right out in bushy tail. Didn't get that much.
The creativity, right? It's like, and it's been intense the last, I would say for me, the last 2 to 3 weeks.
Mm.
Yeah. A lot, right?
Yeah.
How about you, Chizzy? You too, because I know you've been like with the saxophone lately.
You
2 in the morning.
you already know, Dr. Poetry. So, fam, listen, viewers, sending love from ATL. Here is
Atlanta.
on that right now. Atlanta time, yes.
Atlanta.
9:14. Doing good. And yes, Izzy, I ain't been able to get that much sleep either. So in that time, I just been more creative because the downloads are coming in. It's like the alignments, it's there. It's not a tired fatigue I have. It's just spontaneous reflection, I would say, in this season. Yeah. How about you, Cosmic?
The same. It's been the same. Just like Izzy, like I cannot go to sleep. It takes me once I'm asleep. For me, I'm fine. Though last week I kept waking up every day. I think at 3:44 a.m. in the morning. On 3:44. I'm like, I know why, but it's just fun, right? It's just going to bed. My brain doesn't stop. It doesn't want to shut down. I have to like drink my tea. Like I have to do things because I only like to do natural remedies. I don't like to take prescribed medications. That's just me. So I have to do these natural things. And Izzy, I think you're the same way, right?
I am. I love my tea.
Holisticness.
I love my
Actually,
tea.
I have been drinking a lot more tea lately. Peppermint in particular.
Oh, that's my favorite.
There.
Peppermint, and I mix it with my I have a chamomile and vanilla, and then I put the peppermint and I let it steep for 10 minutes.
Right.
So good.
I don't know if it's that we're already entering the fall, but I love cinnamon sticks. I love cinnamon sticks with the cloves, and then I'll take orange peel. I'll put some orange peel there, and I boil it with some white pine needle tea. And I'll just put a whole bunch of stuff, and I want the house to smell like Christmas. And I'll throw bay leaves in there and a little oregano, depending on what I'm wanting. And then I'll drink it, and I'm like, okay, now I can go to sleep.
That's so good for you too. Right. That's so good for you.
I love it.
That's also good to brew, folks. To put this on your pretty much everything Izzy. When you make a pot and you brew it, and you just let it fill your home up with the smell.
Each corner of my house. Each corner of my house. It's a good thing. It's a good feeling. It's just, I call it aromatherapy. That's what it is. It helps
aromatherapy. Exactly.
Yeah, it's really good. All right. So we're drinking tea. What are y'all drinking out there? Are you drinking some wine? Shout out to all the viewers out there. We love you. We got a great show ready for y'all. But before we get to this show, we have to talk about Hispanic Heritage Month, okay? That is observed from September 15th to October 15th. I don't know why those days specifically, but it's a time to honor and celebrate rich histories, as they say, and the cultures and the contributions of people whose ancestors came from Spanish-speaking countries. That's what they say. Anywho, it's a month of recognition, right? For the resilience, the creativity, the influence of Hispanic and Latino communities. I don't like that word Latino, but that's a different story. I'm not going to talk about that today. I'll just say that we did shape the story of the Americas and beyond, right? So a big shout out to all these countries like Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, who else? Nicaragua, Mexico, okay, Chile, and all these other ones, especially Puerto Rico, Cuba, República Dominicana, que estamos hablando. Hello, everybody. And today's guest, and I want Cosmic to bring him up. Cosmic, who do we have, Cosmic?
We have literally one of my favorite people on the face of this earth. As I've gotten to know this individual, he is a beautiful soul, full of laughter, full of light, full of love, and full of chancletas. And we have the one and only RADA. DADA.
DADA'S BODEGA. Let's go, DADA. Woo! We love DADA. No, you can't be quiet, DADA.
I'm not being quiet. I'm
What's
being
going
careful.
on? What's going on? They coming for you, Dada.
Well,
Early.
I just want to say, I want to thank you guys for this opportunity of putting me on the screen like this. You know, you
We
guys
love
try
you.
to make me famous, by the way. Anyway,
Absolutely. You are famous. We can't make
You
something
We
already
silly
made.
are,
like that.
Carly.
well, you know what I always say. I try my best, in staying out the hot plate, but
Mm.
I don't know, man. They just keep pulling me back, man. I just don't understand that. So, but this right here, this is it right here. This is something special. This is family. I'm here with family, and I
Yeah.
appreciate you guys, man.
Well,
Because
we
I see.
appreciate you.
Too right back at you.
Yes,
Thank you, thank you,
absolutely.
We
thank
want to
you.
honor you today because Dada, in case you guys don't know who Dada is, Rada Dada is known for Dada's Bodega and for many other shows. He does a lot of music shows on different platforms. He's definitely started where we started at on stereo. Okay, shout out to stereo and the stereo community. But he's also, I'm not going to keep talking for you. And I'm going to tell you something, Dada, because I'm going to tell you right now. If you don't speak up, this is going to happen. This is going to happen to you. You're going to be, we're going to be really fighting today. We're going to be like this. Mhm. This is going to happen to you.
Come
So
on,
you,
why are you here? Let's go.
I want you. I don't think he hears the screaming man. But listen, Dada, tell the viewers, tell everyone, what is it that where we can find you and what type of shows you do. And I know you love music, so please share with everyone what is it that you actually what's your passion when it comes to podcasting and what you've been doing?
Well, in my virtual life, man, I was born and raised in stereo.com. You know, that's where RADA was actually created. And I was in there because my son brought me there. And,
Shout out
he's,
to
yeah. RADA died, RADA Music.
Rada guy.
He got so many names, man. I don't even know who he is anymore. But
Lot of
so he looked at me one day. He said, "Pop, man, you're not doing music no more. I mean, you just laying up in the bed. You're not feeling too well. You got to do something about yourself." And I said, "What am I going to do?" He said, "Pop, I got something for you." And I said, "What you got for me?" "I got stereo for you." I said, "Son, I don't need a radio, you know." So no, it's not a radio, Pop. It's not a radio. It's a podcast. Where you can do music, where you can meet people, you can help people with their problems. And he said, "There's only one thing I want to ask you to do." And I said, "What's that?" "There's about 15 young ladies that they need a father. I want you,
Oh,
I want you to adopt them."
oh,
So, I looked at him and I said, "Son, are you crazy?" He said, "No, I'm not crazy. And I know that they will adore you and love you, you know.
sure enough.
So, I said, "You know what? I'm going to do this for you, son, because you give me an opportunity to do something with myself." So I adopted all these women. I
That's
got a lot of daughters. I got a lot of daughters in social media, you
he
know.
does, and he's special. Everybody loves Dada. That
I,
sounds like
absolutely.
another show. Everybody loves Dada. That sounds
everybody
like a show.
just,
Everybody loves
Mm,
Dada. That's a good show. I
that's
don't
a
know,
good
man. My
one.
brain is
I
always
like
working. I can't
hey,
help it. I'm an
that's pretty
Aquarius.
good.
that.
Let me
Yeah.
write that down. Let me stop.
Yeah, stop
Like,
it.
Shout out to Dada. Dada, you in the poetry world right now. You with the Hear Me Out poetry people. Not all of us are here. Everybody's doing some work. They're working on some stuff. Those that are here right now, like my beloved, more better CHIZ, beloved Cosmic Oracle, we are here and we're going to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month today. Hispanic Heritage Month today. I'm so excited that I can't even speak. And we're going to have some conversations about a few things. Okay. So I want to present to you one of the people that I wanted to be when I was growing up. And I know you know her. I know CHIZ seen her around. I know COSMIK because we all around. We were still twinkles in the sky, but we came out when she was doing her thing. And in
Hmm.
honor of, you know, Hispanic Heritage Month, we're going to pay homage to this woman. Okay. Her name is Iris Chacon.
Oh.
And when I tell you, I loved Iris Chacon. I am going to I'm gonna recite a poem. I'm gonna set it off, y'all. I have it right here.
Let's go.
Still hot. All
Hot.
right. Still hot, yeah. This is my poem. It's called Ahí viene Iris Chacon.
Mm.
I was a little girl with big dreams, playing with mommy's makeup to have that glow. Because I believe I would be on TV. Mommy was going to be proud of watching me in our very own RCA looking TV. That TV that looked like a boxy shrine from the 1980s. That TV. I sat cross legged, big eyes wide, learning how to apply that black eyeliner and that lip gloss on my lips. I took my position in the theater of our living room. As the sound of the TV commercials began to rise, rehearsing my shake, shaking my small tush, and wishing I had maracas to shake. Spinning a plie, a sachet on that cold housing floor. Oh, I remember the tiles. And I was pretending to be her with her dancers. It was our show. I would ask mom, hurriedly applied makeup, and don't forget my lip gloss. Mom, is it time yet? Is it time yet? Mom would answer, not yet, but you have to get ready. And I was getting ready. I wore my black leotard and frizzed up my straight hair, wetting it, then applying different gels to make it big, big, and big. And I had this big hair to have that abundance of hair similar to Shaka Khan. And I needed to have my hair looking massively thick. I walked arching my back with my tush out, wanted to have one just like hers. But I kept looking in the mirror. I kept looking in the mirror, practicing my shake, the movements, my movements, her movements that were unknown to man. My movements were unknown to man. Then I heard that beat. I ran to the stage. The TV set was my stage, and our show. Our show began. Iris Chacón. Ahí viene Iris Chacón. Iris Chacón. Ahí viene Iris Chacón. She moves like honey, as if she was avoiding a sticky situation. She poured in light in my eyes because I was manifesting that I would be her when my womanhood would arrive. She moved her hips like waves, so I had to reciprocate. The dance moves. Nothing, nobody can get in the way. That TV screen, boy, that was my theater. For it was our show. It was the Izzy and Edie's Chacon show. Easy Chacon. I said it, Easy Chacon. Ahí viene Easy Chacon. She was a goddess wrapped and sequined with a fiery aura of red flame colored hair. And every curve calls out the language that no one could name nor understand. All the men loved her. All the men loved her. Her hair, a lioness in bloom. Her smile and my smile in 680 Tinton Avenue, apartment 15A. We lit the darkest room. She twirls, I twirled. She strut, I strut. She owned the air. And I kept shaking my 5-year-old skinny little body, fluffing up my hair. I just wanted to be her on TV. I wanted to be there. I pressed my palms and closed my eyes, manifesting prayers, looking up to the ceiling. And then, dear God, when I grow up someday, I looked up to the sky. Please give me curves like that lady. I want to be Iris Chacon, not just the shape, but all of her fire, her boldness, her rhythm, rawness that I didn't know how to explain. But as an adult, I meant her desire. She wasn't just dancing. She commanded every man and woman watching her, moving very seductively with every sway and shimmy and of her hips and her shoulders and her hands. And mommy laughed with excitement to watch me dream. But I kept dancing. shaking, and wanted more of Edie's. Because in that moment, I believed that I can be what I can see. So every night when she appeared on Wapa TV, I chased away my childhood fears. And I fell asleep believing I could be Edie's Chacon. Ahí viene Iris Chacon. Ahí viene Iris Chacon. And in my heart, I waited for my womanhood and never felt alone. Ahí viene Iris Chacon is Izzy Chacon. And I'm Dr. Poetry.
Hey.
Wow.
I love that.
I love Iris Chacon.
Oh my.
I have an anecdote about that. So when I graduated from college, I explored different avenues, and then I decided to move to Puerto Rico. And my cousin, a big shout out to Cobo Santa Rosa, he is very well known in Puerto Rico, also known as La Comay. He took me in, and I worked for him. So the minute I walked into Wapa TV, there she was, a big, huge poster of Edie Chacon on the wall with, famous that she's on a motorcycle. And I remember all the people, all the news people. I was a production assistant, excuse me. And I walked through the halls of Wapa TV, and I remember going like this to her poster, like, like all hail to the queen. And something interesting, she would come to the South Bronx, right across from the housing project that I lived in. I was a little girl, and she would perform in the carnival. She would come from Puerto Rico and perform, and that place was like you couldn't even walk. And I could hear her singing, Edith Child, and all her songs. I would remember, si tu boquita fuera de chocolate, and she used to sing all these songs. And I'm not gonna talk anymore. I just want you guys to see what I saw.
That had to be a magical experience.
Yes, it sure was, Chizzy. And when I played this is the theme song that used to get me to be in front of the TV and perform. I present to you, Edie Chacon.
Peligrosa, fabulosa, y con su movimiento ya nos puede enloquecer. Es la reina del mundo y de mi corazón. Ella cantaba y tiene mucho sabor. Ya van a ver, se llama Iris Chacon. Iris Chacon, Iris Chacon, ahí viene 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 Iris Chacon.
Damn.
Reina del mundo y de mi corazón. Ella cantaba y le tiene mucho sabor. La van a ver, se llama Iris Chacon.
I'm just saying, did you see what I'm talking about? Did you see what I'm talking about? Did you see
the energy?
What I'm talking about?
That woman was something else. She still is in spirit. With the vibrancy, the dramatics of it all, the theatrics. Not the
theatrics.
Yo, my mom said I would be. There was a store in the Bronx called Alexander's. Do you remember that? Do you remember that store, Dada? Alexander's tiene todo para ti, right? That song. And my mom said that I would be. They would have the speakers out, like with the music blasted, right? And I would be like making crowds and shaking my little tush. And she was just like, and then she said that she would see a crowd forming, and it was me doing a show for everybody. Like I didn't even know what I was doing, but I was shaking because I had that since I was little. I had that little, and I really genuinely believed that I could be Edith Chacon. I didn't even know that Puerto Rican women were mad because their husbands were all like, you know what I mean? I didn't know all that. I just knew that I loved how the dancers would pick her up. And then I would tell my cousins, like, Julio, Willie, you know, can we play Yiddish Chacon? They looked at me like I was from outer space. Who's Yiddish Chacon? What are you talking about? They were so Americanized, you know? They're like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, Yiddish Chacon, Yiddish Chacon. They're like, no, 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 I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, I want to dance. I want to play. Come on, dance. And it was just that she was so seductive, but so, and she danced. She was a dancer first. So
Yeah.
she was well known in Puerto Rico, and then she crossed over as well. They you know, in the 80s, you know, 70s and 80s, she did her thing. So I'm gonna ask around, do you know who she was before I presented this to you guys? Do you guys have an idea? I'm gonna leave Rada last because I know Dada got stories. So I'm gonna go to COSMIK first. COSMIK, what do you think? Do you remember
Yes.
anything of her? Any stories about
Absolutely.
Chacon?
And I thank you because I had not, it's very nostalgic what you've done bringing her here with us because my uncle, my mom's younger brother, who's a performing artist, who is a professional dancer, singer, he doesn't play any instruments, but his instrument's the voice. An actor, theater, like he would bring her on and he just loved, I remember going over and visiting and he would be playing the music and then he would bring her up on TV like, oh, you got to see her. You got to see her. She is phenomenal. Like, you know, like, woo.
I can imagine. Wow. And it's her outfits though, because she would have all these fluffiness and gold and sequin. And
right?
When you're a child, you take your mother's garments that you're not supposed to be wearing, okay? Right. Like my mom would have negligees, okay, the negligees. And I was just thinking, because whatever looked kind of sheery and weird, you know, in my mind, it was like, oh, Edie's Chacon. But I wasn't supposed to be wearing that. And I would just put it on and try to like really, I don't know. And it's like the hair. It was something about her hair. Like I had really, you know, straight hair here and it would kind of wave. So I would take the little wave, the little curl that I would put out of it and try to brush it up like down and try to be like, because I like Chaka Khan too. Okay, I grew up on Chaka Khan. So I was like, and I noticed that it was all the women with the hair like this. Right. So it was Chaka Khan, okay, Donna Summer,
the big hair,
Diana Ross.
Yes.
I was always, you know, and with the hair, and it's no surprise. Like, Dada said, Izzy, comb your hair. You know what I mean? He told me my hair like that. But I like my hair like that. Like, I've always loved it. But it was also Edie Chacon. Edie Chacon was the one that really set it off because I was only like 5 years old. And I loved that. So, Chizzy, what you know about Edie Chacon?
Well, Dr. Poetry on my side of the poem back there during that time, I did not until you made mention of her. And, you know, with the intro, just I'm like, okay, 70s background, I'm checking it out. And so, mind you, she had not turned around yet. So I'm getting all the backside, getting all the vibration. I'm like, okay. And then she turns around like, oh, that's Edie Chacon.
You know, there's a saying, when a woman has a big booty, you know how we say J-Lo, she got the J-Lo? J-Lo wasn't J-Lo without Edie Chacon.
No.
Back then, it was like, yo, she got the Chacon. That's Chacon is like Chacon. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, even J-Lo recognizes that. So she was like, we were all little girls trying to be Edie Chacon. We didn't know why, though. That's kind of strange, though, right? As little kids, we wanted to be things that, I don't know, was that kind of weird, though, that we were kind of like...
No, but it's her aura, everything about her. She was so feminine. So as little girls, you want to be really feminine, right? It makes complete sense to me. Yeah, she was just that idol, that image. And it was not just her looks. It was the entire vibe that she portrayed.
And she had a whole bunch of shows. What's interesting, she was interviewed by what was her name? Joan Rivers. She was interviewed by I believe David, what's his name? Oh my God, I should know this. What's his name? The Night Show. Letterman. She was interviewed by Letterman, by Geraldo Rivera, like several people, a lot of artists, American mainstream celebrities. So she really did cross over. And I remember teachers. I was a little girl. I remember, you know how they had the teachers in the cafeteria talking?
Yes.
I would hear them, "Did you catch the Chacon show tonight?" And they were all American, did not speak a word of Spanish, but they understood Chacon.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dada,
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to give the drum roll because I know you know Edie Chacon. So, please
Yeah.
tell me.
Yeah, I know. I don't know her personally, but I knew of her. But I could tell you, she was a national treasure. I mean, everybody loved her. She was beautiful. She was voluptuous.
Mhm.
She was so, man. She could dance. She could
Mhm.
dance. And sing.
Yeah.
But I have a story that I noticed that she was also a magnet uh, to bring peace amongst
Yeah.
people. Now, I'm going to talk about a time, like I think it was during the late 1960s, in a place called Rikers Island. Now,
Rikers.
this was a jail in New York City and Queens, and it was vicious there,
Mm.
and there was a lot of problems between the Hispanic population and the Black population. I
Okay.
told they was stabbing each other, cutting each other. I mean, it was terrible, you know. And but one thing brought them together to sit together in peace, and that was Edie Chagon. You know, when the Edie Chagon show came up, they all got together and sat down like a
Wow.
family,
Oh,
like
Check that
this,
out.
quiet, and to watch Edie Chagon shake her thing, And yeah, it brought peace. It brought peace for that hour, you know.
look at that.
And I noticed that, and I said, "Wow, this lady has a power." And she did have a power. So yeah, Edie Chagon brought peace, in a bad place, where there was nothing but violence going on. But when Edie Chagon was on, it was love, peace, observation, and
Mm.
music.
That's beautiful. That's a beautiful thought. Just thinking about it, given
Yeah,
the circumstances,
very
because,
much so.
like I said, for her to go into the South Bronx, and everybody knows what 156. Well, everybody who doesn't, but from New York, those from New York, especially from the Bronx, 156 Brook and St. Nance is
Oh
hot.
boy. Oh boy.
It's hot. I grew up there. That tall building right that hovered right over the carnivals. I was right there, and I remember how even the shingalings, all the gangs that came through, everyone, and she was on that stage, and it would just go for miles and miles of people coming in just to see Edie Chacon. There
Wow.
wasn't going to be no stab, shootout or nothing. Edie Chacon is in the Bronx, and it was so crazy. And I just knew that she had that power too, like Edie Chacon. You know what I mean? Like it was like Edie Chacon. You know what I mean? And it's kind of crazy because most people, if you don't know, you don't know, and that's okay. CHIZ learned today. CHIZ
I,
learned today.
I appreciate this show and this space because I'm sitting here like kicking myself because I'm feeling like I should have known Illy
You should have
Chacon.
known. You should have known.
I should
I'm,
have known it.
but I know that if you ask, "Hey, Rada, we see you.
Right.
Shout out to you. We're on TV." He went through the wall. Anyway,
You walked through the wall.
he went through the wall. I love it. It reminded me of Beetlejuice when they just went
Right?
through.
The chalk. On the
I
chalk.
love it. Yeah. I gotta do this. I gotta do this.
What did she drink? What was in that tea?
It's Edie Chacon. That's what's going on. All right, y'all. That is so dope. I love that. I love that. Guys, this has been so far one of the most interesting shows because we have our very own Rada Dada from Dada's Bodega.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah.
We are excited. So
We're
Dada,
so blessed to have Dada. We are so Rada Dada, we are so blessed to know this man. I just have to say that.
yeah,
Because
and
yeah. And for you to be here, it is such an honor.
it is, and that's why I'm going to dedicate this one song to Dada. Hey, y'all snuffing?
Yeah, I had to, man. He's over here making noise on purpose and shit.
Let's go. Here we go, y'all.
momento en que despierto, antes de maquillarme, una oración te hago para ti, mi amor. Mientras peino mi largo cabello y pienso en qué vestido ponerme, le pido a Dios otra oración que te cuida y protege mi corazón. Tú estarás en mi corazón, te amaré por siempre y siempre. Nunca me separé de ti, mi amor, y como te amo yo, nadie te amará como yo, bebé. Juntos eternamente, no me sigas la corriente, ponle fin al dolor para ti y tu mente. Juntos eternamente, no me sigas la corriente, ponle el fin al dolor para ti y tu mente. Ay, amor, qué difícil sería para mí, traería tristeza si te separas de mí. No te olvides del principio, ponerle el fin a lo que no sirve en tu mente. Eso sí que duele verte así, es como vivir sin ti, así debe ser vivir sin ti. Traería dolor para mí. Juntos eternamente, no me sigas la corriente, ponle el fin al dolor para ti y tu mente. Juntos eternamente, no me sigas la corriente, ponle el fin al dolor para ti y tu mente. El momento en que despierto, antes de maquillarme, una oración te hago para ti, mi amor. Mientras peino mi largo cabello y pienso en qué vestido ponerme, le pido a Dios otra oración que te cuida y protege mi corazón. Mientras peino mi largo cabello y pienso en qué vestido ponerme, no me sigas la corriente, ponle fin al dolor para ti y tu mente. Ay, amor, ponle fin al dolor para ti y tu mente. Ay, amor, qué difícil sería para mí, traería tristeza si te separas de mí. Juntos eternamente, no me sigas la corriente, ponle el fin al dolor para ti y tu mente. Ay, amor, qué difícil sería para mí.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Ooh la la la. I think we missed Dada. Where did Dada go? Yes, he's here. Because he had to take a little break. Okay, real quick. Yeah.
Yay.
I wanted to dedicate that to Dada because we know it has a little la 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 lo 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 le lo le lo lo line. We got a little something going on here.
Piece. I love that piece. I was just like, daddy. I don't even know what's been.
En el momento en que despierto, antes de maquillarme, un corazón. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it, y'all. All right, let's see. I'm going to see if we got it. There he is. Dada, Dada, Dada. Hey. Dada, that was our little song to you. Look at you. Mac music.
Mac music.
Mac music. Oh, I'm scared of you, Dada. Hercules. All right, y'all. Well, let's keep going with the show. So, listen. Speaking about Hispanic, Latino, and all that greatness, I am celebrating today because, as you know, I published my book.
Yes. Talk about it. Talk about it.
680 Tintin Avenue, apartment 15A. Here we go. You guys can find this on Amazon. It's definitely one of those memoirs, right? And I want to do a little reading real quick, y'all. Oh, he's getting comfortable. Oh, you got the chips? We got the chips and the popcorn?
Let's get it.
You got the popcorn? You ready? You sure you comfortable?
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Let's go.
Let's get it. Oh, God. Zada's getting the popcorn because I'm going to do a reading. 680 Tintin Avenue, apartment 15A. Let's go. Here we go. I remember the posters plastered on my bedroom wall, not of pop stars or movie idols, but of heroes who could do the impossible. I wanted to be Iris Chacon, shaking her hips and commanding attention. Then it shifted. I'd practice poses in the mirror, imagining a golden lasso in my hand, becoming Wonder Woman.
Uh,
But deep down, what I craved was the power of hydraulics. I did. I actually did. I really did do that. I kind of really did. Seriously. All right. Where was I? I'd practice poses in the mirror, imagining a golden lasso in the hand, becoming Wonder Woman. But deep down, what I craved was the power of hydraulics, the strength of steel. I wanted to be the bionic woman, leaping over cars, rebuilding myself, unstoppable. And the swagger, the cool, the coordinated strikes, that was us. My sisters and I were the Charlie's Angels. At least in my innocent and juvenile mindset, I was fearless. Then the screams. My mother's sharp and raw, tearing through the thin walls of our apartment. It was the sound that always prefaced the thudding, the muffled curses, the crashing. I'd curl up on my bed, pulling my knees to my chest, and the fantastical images would blur. Suddenly, I wasn't a superhero. I was Marsha Brady or Jan, maybe even Cindy. They had their problems, sure, but they never sounded like this. This, they had a stable family, a dad who didn't make mom cry. They had sunny afternoons, not police sirens. It's giving you an image, right? You guys are
Yeah,
going with me. You following me, right?
I'm following. I'm listening with it.
Absolutely.
I want the book.
The blue and white patrol car became a familiar sight in front of St. Anselm's Church, Catholic Church, adjacent to 680 Tinton Avenue. Every weekend it seemed they'd be there. My mother, her face bruised, her arm in a sling, talking in hushed tones to officers. My stepfather, looking sullen and crying and angry, always getting into the back of the car with a dismissive wave. It was a cycle of arguments that escalated, blows that landed, and the sterile smell of the emergency room clinging to her clothes when she finally came home. Izzy, can you get my purse? My mother would ask, her voice raspy after the police had left. I retreated from the chipped wooden kitchen table, my hands trembling slightly. Just stay with your sisters, okay? Mom said with authority. My sisters. They were the anchors, my anchors. Maya, the oldest, always the stoic one, her eyes too old for her years, would gather us close. Chloe, the second youngest, would bury her face in Maya's shoulder, her small body shaking. I tried to distract them to recite the latest hip hop beats we heard drifting from open project windows. The Sugar Hill Gang was heard on the streets. It was like medicine served in our small, crowded space. John Adam houses, NYCHA. I could still see the train elevator passing through on Westchester Avenue adjacent to IS 184. The boogie down Bronx or the burnt out Bronx, depending who was saying it, was the backdrop to everything I ever knew as a child. I knew I was in the gold mine as I heard so much great music like hip hop being raised by all the ethnicities in the boogie down, with so much salsa music and dancing taking place in every other apartment. Every time the elevator would go local, stopping on each floor, I smelled hip hop. I smelled salsa. I also smelled the nasty burning of what may have been crack. And Lord knows what other drugs were being cooked and taken by 680 Tinton. Finally, the finest drug addicts, unfortunately. The fifth floor to me reminded me of New York, New Jack City, as it was the Nino Brown operation floor. The 11th floor was peaceful, but 15A, the 15th floor, that was hell. I remember as the elevator would make its way to the 15th floor, I felt the nervous energy in my stomach since my discernment began at the age of 7 years old. I always knew when something was going to happen. I never knew how to verbalize it or even process it. Reflecting on this right now brings tears to my eyes when I think of my godmother, who would often take me for the weekends to spend time with her. And it was so peaceful. I didn't feel that nervous when I was with her and my God family. However, when it was Sunday and I gathered my things for her to bring me back home, I gathered my things to be with her, to go back home. I still felt the tension and fear unsettled in the pit of my stomach, the gut. That gut feeling of fearing what could be happening or what is going to happen once the elevator stopped on the 15th floor. The graffiti on the stairwells, the distant wail of ambulances, the constant tough love, energetic boogie down streets, to me, it was a chaos that I called home. It was just New York City. It was the only world I knew. And I'm going to stop it there because you guys got to get into that. It's going to get into why I'm so dramatic about it. And I don't know if you noticed, but as I'm reading this, I'm stuttering because it brings nervous energy to me. That's how deep this is. I'm like, my eyes are about to cry.
Yeah.
It's like it's making me, it makes me nervous.
Mhm.
For me to write this, it was very difficult because I'm going through a lot of like I'm reopening some things that kind of like were tough, but I'm okay because I know that someone out there is gonna be able to understand this.
Absolutely.
That
Um,
part.
yeah, and so it also has some poems in here that I printed, excuse me, that I published, I put in here, regarding about a lot of little things that I saw, you know. I recommend this not because I did it, but because someone is gonna understand. Someone right there right now is living on 680 Tinton Avenue, apartment 15A. And I wish they knew what I went through in that apartment and know that there's resilience. And on that note, I want to promote this book as well, yeah. Floetic Echoes. I'm
Poetic
not going to read
Echoes.
on it. Floetic Echoes, yeah. This speaks about how we can use poetry to overcome a lot of the problems that we may be facing, whether it's mental
Yes.
health, whether it's fibromyalgia in my case. Shout out to COSMIK who has been through that. She's going through that as well. Um, it explores all the transformations. It talks about how I started using poetry and how I started writing certain things even when I was feeling my worst, you know, in the middle of lots of adversity, you know. So I recommend this. You know, it's definitely inspiring for some people, and I hope it touches a lot of people. So that's what that's about.
Absolutely.
That's a quick dive into what's going on. And these two books are available on Amazon. Go get yourself a copy. Not because I did it, because trust me, when I wrote this, I felt every pain. All right, so it's worth it. All right.
Thank you for that
Yes.
reading. I was captivated.
Hmm.
Really?
I'm still taking. I'm over here taking it in. Shout out to you, Dr. Poetry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Were you able to see some of what I was talking about? Did you get that floor that was like the Nino Brown
Hmm.
floor of New Jack City?
I
Um,
was like watching a movie. I wish I had
Right.
RADA'S popcorn over here.
Dada, that 680 Tinton Avenue has 21 floors.
Oh, really? I was going to ask that. Thank you. I was
21
I was
floors.
curious. Like, how many floors are there?
21
Because
floors.
I think of Izzy when you're reading that. There's a lot of films out there. There's a
Hmm.
lot of movies that have reflections of the Bronx, Brooklyn, like certain areas, Queens, you name it, in these buildings. And I'm picturing it in my head. I have a very vivid imagination.
And
So
yeah,
when you read, immediately I'm conjuring these images, right? And you're painting a picture for me. And I just thought of like certain movies where you would see them get off the one floor and it's like, oh, like, and then they would go up to the next, you know what I mean? So yeah, absolutely.
I
Ah,
notice in when I read what I wrote,
Hmm.
when I read what I wrote, okay, when I was explaining that to get to the 15th floor, you have to go through a lot of different floors.
right. You just
You
stop
got
it.
just to walk into the lobby, you're dealing with a lot of craziness going on. So
There's levels to it for real,
there's a
literally.
lot of levels,
Yeah.
and so everybody thinks that I'm a little kind of like, you know, like cover me, I'm going in because I'm a police officer. But that's not true. Don't get it twisted, y'all. It's because I grew up in the South Bronx. I grew up on the 15th floor. And before I got to the 15th floor, I had to be a certain way. All the way. And if the floor went local, meaning second floor, third floor, fifth floor. You know how many floors I gotta okay? So you know how many attitudes I'm dealing with? How many
Yeah.
people are on substances and alcohol? I had to see a lot. It's okay.
All
It
the
happens.
different energies. Yeah.
It's not a pity party. It's a resilience situation. It's like, okay, that
Yes.
I came out of that and I don't look, that's what I contracted back when I was in the stars and the skies and a different type of that's what I chose for a reason I did. And so here I am, I'm there. And when I think back, I'm like, you know, I'm not the only one. When I speak with Bree Talks, shout out to Bree Talks. Bree grew up on the 16th floor, if I'm not wrong, but in Brooklyn. I grew
Wow.
up on the 15th in the Bronx. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like we understand these things, right?
Right.
But my mother's best friend lived on the 19th floor. And I remember, I'm not going to say anything else because the book talks about an incident that happened, a huge incident, and I speak of the 19th floor. So this is a series, y'all. This is the first of the series of 680 and Tinson Avenue. This is the one that says when I was New Yorican. I named it when I was New Yorican. So coming soon will be another one.
Let's
And
go.
this one talks about domestic violence. This is based on domestic violence. The lesson here is about domestic violence and how it affects children, and it's pretty strong. The next one's going to be on suicide. So hopefully we can get somewhere with that and we can help many people get it.
Absolutely.
A lot of people feel like they're broken and they can't, they feel like they can't, because they've been through a rough life. But anyway, where did COSMIK go? COSMIK, where'd you go? Okay, sorry. That was me.
Absolutely. I'm still
Amazing.
sitting over here marinating like poetry on what I just heard.
Yeah.
Got me in a space. Shout out. I'm glad, I'm rocking out with RADA. So this is
Dada, what did
you know.
Dada's muted. Dada, you can go on mute, honey, because I'm trying to unmute. Oh, there we go. We unmuted you. There you go.
But I
What
do
did
have
you think?
something to say about the Bronx. You spoke about the Boogie Down Bronx, and it was also known as the Burnout Bronx.
Yeah,
because
sure did.
Bronx was on fire.
It was.
Now the thing about it is that they call it the Burnout Bronx, and the blame for that fiasco was put on the black and brown people that were residents of the Bronx. But that's not who burnt the Bronx up. It was the landlords,
Right.
automatically to get money, insurance money.
Insurance fraud.
Right, insurance fraud. And they got people to burn their buildings so then they can collect that money.
Slumlords.
There was no black and brown landlords at the time, especially during those times.
A lot of Jewish.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of Jewish owners, landlords. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when they started building those housing projects. Because I remember being a little girl and walking through lots of lots, emptied out, burnt out lots and burnt out buildings. I remember Kid Key had mentioned that one time when she saw some images of the Bronx. Somebody had posted something, and it had like a whole bunch of it looked like a war zone, right? And she was like,
"That's right.
It's where Izzy's from?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm from there. You better believe it." And I kind of I never pretend that I grew up in wow. You know what I mean? Like, we're moving on up. I was not living in the high skies, those skies. I was living on the other sky. Like where people jump from one roof to another.
Yeah.
John Adams. I'm very, very vocal about it. I grew up in John Adams housing. That was rough. That was rough. And it was so interesting because even though it was rough, I didn't know it was rough when I was a little girl. I thought I was having fun, right? Because hip hop was also forming. So there was a lot of music happening. There was a lot of disco, a lot of salsa. So I was excited. I come from a very musical family. Everyone's singing, dancing, and I was in the middle of the beginning of hip hop You know what I mean? When the cardboard boxes were out, I was in there trying to like, hello,
Break dance, doing
I'm
the
from the
back
home of the
spin.
boogie. I'm home of the hip hop nation. You understand? So I was
Right.
there. Okay, not that there, but there. And they had these block parties. They had a lot of DJs outside, and you would hear the speakers and all the music out. I loved all that. But within these homes, there were a lot of things happening. So a lot of us turned to music, to dance, to singing, to drawing. There's a lot of art. Graffiti was an art.
Right.
Everybody would tag their
Absolutely.
name, and people were in the train stations tagging the trains. Of course, I couldn't do that. My mom was strict. But my thing is, I held on to poetry. I held on to music, to dance. I was always like, this is my thing. So, what did you guys do when you felt like there was kind of like when you were growing up? I know no one's childhood is perfect, but there's got to be, even if they didn't give you the ice cream you didn't want. My question is, how did y'all deal with any of that? Any situations? Did you, like, I always talk about poetry, but what did you guys do? Did you turn into Atari, Pac-Man? Like, what did you
Um,
do? Did you eat cookies? Like, what did you?
Um,
with me growing up in Philly, man, I played a lot of street ball, basketball, hoops. Spent a lot of time. I did do a lot of art, and honestly, just a lot of traveling and just socializing abroad with different family members, maybe from other
Oh,
parts of town to
okay. Yeah.
keep things going.
Hmm. Yeah, I see that because I actually mentioned that my godmother would pick me up every weekend.
Hmm.
She would do that. I would love going with my godmother every weekend. She practically raised me till I was 4. So she would pick me up on the weekends and I would go with her. But then that ride back on the train, I would get those butterflies, these things that like what I'm getting when I'm reading it, because it's kind of like I'm good, but I also know that it just kind of triggers a little bit. Um,
Yeah.
and I remember like right as the elevator was stopping and it was getting ready, it's like the next floor, I was already like, I don't want to go there. That's terrible, right? Um, but as an adult now, I look back and I'm like, I made it. You know what I mean? Like I made it. That was survival, unfortunately, right? But
Right.
it's a feeling that to think that you're never gonna be a police officer, like look at the people I wanted to be. I wanted to be literally, if a social worker would ask me, I hate to say literally, when social worker asked, what are you gonna be when you grow up? I would always say, I'm gonna be a police officer. I'm gonna be a bionic woman. I'm gonna be the Wonder Woman. I'm going to be a Charlie's Angel, and I'm gonna be Edie Chacon. You know what I mean? Like, of course, that didn't seem right, right? Because it's like, what happened to doctor, teacher?
Mm.
The fact that I said those things is because that's where I hid when everything was happening. It's almost like disassociating.
Hmm.
You kind of want to be somewhere else, but poetry helps me to put things into perspective
It does. I
and to
see, and,
process what
and it
happened.
and it brings the listener. I gotta say, like when we listen to your work, Doctor Poetry, you put us in that scene. You paint the picture well, and it comes from a place honest. Shout
Thank
out to you. Where can the viewers buy your book, Doctor Poetry?
you. Amazon, guys, you can go to Amazon. I have it on soft hardcover and on Kindle as well, like ebook. And I'm excited, y'all. So this is great.
Yes.
I'm excited too.
Yay.
I'm excited too.
I know. And yeah, I can't wait to your stuff. Are
Happy
you
for you.
working on yours? She's working on
Yeah.
is working on hers as well. Dada, I saw you raise your hand. That's so funny. He's like, I feel like I'm in school. What's up,
yeah.
honey?
Well, this is school, and I'm the teacher. So listen to this. You're talking about the Bronx. I remember the Bronx like back in the '60s and back in the '70s.
Tell
But
us.
but the concept of content creator, everybody just measures that with social media. But we were content creators way before social media. You know,
Absolutely.
because our playground was those empty lots, those burnout lots that you
Yes.
talk about, and we
Yeah.
would create games, that was conducive to our happiness,
Absolutely.
conducive to our survival. So we created the games, the street games. That's how we survived. And that was creating right there. We was creating that right on the spot. You know, and I think that a lot of credit should be given to the people that come from intense environments like the Bronx, like you know. Mean, I can
Yeah.
go on and go on, but yeah, we were content creators way before that
I
was even.
love that.
Yeah. Thank you
You're
for
so
that, Dada.
correct.
Yeah, he's
Absolutely. And
right.
that leads me. So for me, Dada, I'm so that just
I want to
leads.
hug him. Me
I
too.
know.
For
Um,
real.
but I love that you said that because I was going to express that that's what I would do. My brother and I, we had some things that we were dealing with growing up, and I've just like Izzy, I've been writing since I was little. I used to write short stories, more so short stories. I did poetry and short stories, and I would write about, I would create constantly in my head. That's how I escaped. And I would create different things to play with. I have just one sibling, my younger brother. He's 2 years younger than myself. And I would write plays and I would direct him and he would act out. We would do all we do shows for the family, but I was constantly doing those kind of things or playing outside and we created our own world. Like we made things up. We weren't
Creative.
sitting in front of a TV and if things were getting tense, when they would get tense, we would want to just immediately just go and play and create. My brother is a very creative to this day. Both him and I, he's a writer. He writes very well. He majored in English Lit. That was his first degree. But yeah, we used to escape and create. We created content. So I love that you said that, Rada.
True.
So
We
on
would play.
point.
Those are the games we played. COSMIK. That is, I told this to Bree. She was cracking up. I told to Bree, I mentioned this. I don't know which show we had, and I remember saying this to her. I said, we when we were kids, we played the weird games. We created games. So now that you say that, I can see what you mean, Dada, about the content creating.
Right.
Because I played games like face to face.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, let me just tell you what face to face is. My mother used to help a lot of people in the building who didn't speak English, right? A lot of Spanish speaking folks. And when they first got there, they needed to be on the system, right? The welfare, they call it welfare. So they will give them appointments that are called face to face, the face to face appointments.
I
So
remember that.
I would play face to face. That was the game I was playing in my house because I was watching these things. So this is what face to face looked like. I tell my sister, I'm the lady. I didn't even know what the lady was. I know she was the lady. The lady that has the papers. That was me. I'm the lady. And I used to be like, Maria Johnson, Maria Johnson. And she was to come in. I'm like, how can I help you? And I would play that game. Do you
Wow.
understand what I was doing?
Yeah,
I was
I'm
playing
I
those
need
type of
to get the
games. And my sisters
popcorn.
used to be like, no, I want to be the lady with the papers. But we didn't know what it was. We were children, little things. But we would play face to face because I would hear my mother say, no, you have to go to the face to face. You have to go to the face to face. So my mom was always serious about it, filling out the paper. And I would tell my sister, it's your turn to sign here. You have to sign. I was playing games like that. Those are the games I was playing in my house. Then I would play another game called Cleaners. I'm going to play Cleaners. I need your jacket, you need the clothes. Like we were playing things that we observed. Don't get me started on the Catholic Church. I was the priest, body of Christ. I would tell Mom, can you make me some toast? She would make me some toast. She didn't know, oblivious, didn't know that I wanted the bread because that was the body of Christ. I would take the bread, cut it into little pieces, and then put them in a bowl, and then have my sister be like, and then I'll be like, body of Christ, body of Christ. And I'm like, forgive you. These are games that I would play in my house, okay?
Right.
I don't know why. The people play, then I'm telling you, Cleaners. I was like, here you go, you're closed. And my sister was like, no, let's play cashier. What's cashier? Supermarket. So we would take the things and she'll be the cashier. She'll be like, a fake. There's nothing, but she was marking it $29.99. And we were, okay. You understand these games? They seem weird, but we were always playing games about professions. Notice what's happening here. There were professions. Iris Chacon, Wonder Woman, Cleaners, church face to face. And don't get me started on the cop on Charlie's Angels. We wanted to be police officers. So I wanted to. So I think of all these things when you say content creating. I didn't realize we were actually creating shows. I mean, you know what I mean? Like games. And that takes a certain kind of creativity. I think sometimes I think about that and I'm like, wow, what we were thinking about? Why were we thinking like that? Because children do that. Especially if there is some type of trauma, you kind of hide behind all these things, you know. I'm just so glad we never decided to play funeral. I'm glad we didn't play funeral.
But we played that, you know, cop. My father, I grew up with a father who was an officer, and so we used to do that as well. And my brother, I was always Wonder Woman, always.
Right.
Like you, Izzy, and my brother was always Spider-Man. We would do that. We would play Star Wars. We'd create our whole Star Wars world. Oh my gosh, I just had a vision when we were talking. We had a bunk bed, and then we had another bed. We would make.
Oh my God, bring it down. Dada, can you imagine the Wonder Woman back then in the Bionic? Yeah, but I used to stay, like my mom used to be talking, but I used to want to force myself to hear really from far, right? I'm like, I could hear what she's saying. And then the thing about it is that when you grow up, right? I didn't know I was gonna be so tall. You know, like I didn't know all that. You know, when I was a little girl, I was tall. Always tall, but I didn't think I was gonna be tall. You know what I mean? And so I would hear people say to my mom, "Oh, she's gonna be tall. Like, look at her fingers. You know they do that to you, right? Oh, she's gonna be this. When she gets big, boy, look at she's going with that girl." And then when you get older, you're kind of like, "Oh my God, I was that little girl." You know what I mean? I was that little girl. I thank a lot. I thank and I'm grateful. Even if I don't understand Mom all the time, I'm really thankful that she did what she had to do with what she had to get us moving, you know, and grooving, you know. Listen, guys, we're about to get going, but I'm going to play one more video, then we out of here. All right? We out of here.
Oh, you got to be kidding me.
It's about that time. It happened so quick. I know. Look at that time. It happened so quickly. I'm going to give you one of these. Where was it? I'm going to do this one. This one's for my godmother. This is called My Old San Juan. I dedicate this to my godmother, Carmen Julia Pagan.
Esta expresión. This song is for my godmother, para mi madrina, Carmen Julia Pagan. Te quiero mucho. Gracias.
En mi viejo San Juan, cuántos sueños forjé. En mis noches de infancia, mi primera ilusión y mis cuitas de amor son recuerdos del alma. Una tarde me fui hacia extraña nación, pues lo quiso el destino, pero mi corazón se quedó frente al mar en mi viejo San Juan, San Juan, San Juan. Adiós, 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 Borinquen querida, tierra de mi amor. Adiós, 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 mi diosa del mar, mi reina del palmar. Me voy, ya me voy, pero un día volveré a buscar mi querer, a soñar otra vez en mi viejo San Juan, a buscar mi querer, a soñar otra vez en mi viejo San Juan, pero el tiempo pasó y el destino se burló amé, pedacito de patria.
Pedacito de patria. There's so much love for mi viejo San Juan. Mi viejo San Juan. Con cariño.
Mi cabello blanqueó y mi vida se va. Ya la muerte me llama y no quiero morir alejado de ti, Borinquen del alma. Y no quiero morir alejado de ti, Borinquen del alma. Adiós.
Viejo San Juan, te amo.
Adiós, 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 mi diosa del mar, mi reina del mar,
mi diosa del mar.
Me voy, ya me voy, pero un día volveré.
I'll be right back.
A buscar mi querer, a soñar otra vez en mi viejo San Juan.
En mi viejo San Juan.
A buscar mi querer, a soñar otra vez en mi viejo San Juan.
En mi viejo San Juan. The time passed by and destiny marked my terrible nostalgia. So I really couldn't return to the San Juan that I love so much, because it was like having a little piece of my land, and my hair is white and my life is fading away, and death is calling for me.
Ya la muerte me
Away
llama
from you,
y no quiero morir alejado de ti,
my soul.
Borinquen querida.
I'll say goodbye. Let me out, dear Borinquen land of my love of my land, land of my
Adiós,
my
adiós.
ciudad is my palm queen. I'm leaving, but I know one day I'm gonna return to find
Pero un día volveré.
I shared in my old San Juan. I'm Dr. Poetry, old San Juan.
Whoa, 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 whoa. It's nostalgic, right? It's a little nostalgic. It is. It's a little, but that's a big scream and shout out to the island of Borinquen, especially Old San Juan. I do remember my godmother. She took me to Old San Juan, and it's everything for me. Cosmic, do not let me end this show without you reciting. Throw me in the bag of the sharks. I don't know what is going on. I'm so overly happy here with 680 Tinton Avenue that I totally forgot we got Cosmic. You see, I was so. That's what happens when Dada's on the show. That's what happened when Dada's on the show.
Yeah,
Dada,
Dada.
Dada, are you taking off your clothes? What's going on? Hey, Borinquen. I
Oh,
love that.
Oh.
I see it.
Speaking of, real quick, I had an image in my mind when you were, with the cultural
Mm-hmm.
celebration and, honoring and all of that. I think is it called mofango? Mofango?
Mofongo.
Or the mashed, the
Mofongo.
fried plantain. Oh my God. There was a place in LA and I can't remember the name of it. There was this one particular place and then there was a Cubano, the Cuban restaurant we go to too. And the one had, the Cuban had the chicken, very similar to the lechon, the pork.
Yes.
Then it had all the garlic and I was just thinking about that. I don't know why.
Cosmic, why are you doing that at this time of the night where I am not supposed to be eating afterwards? I got to eat a peanut or something. I'm so hungry.
Excuse me, you ready to eat a what?
A peanut. Like peanuts.
Peanut.
Just
Okay.
peanuts.
Yeah, that's all I can eat. Peanuts right now. I can't eat anything. I can't, not after this.
It's
I
too
can't.
late to eat.
And she's
yeah.
talking about mofongo. And
I know. It just came to me. I'm like,
I think I'm going to have that for lunch tomorrow. When I break my fast tomorrow, I'm going to have penne. I don't know where I'm going, but I'm going to have some. Delicious. Well, Cosmic,
Yummy.
are you going to recite for us before we go?
I will. I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to recite this new piece I just wrote, not today, the day before yesterday? The day before yesterday.
Yes.
So this piece is called Raw Truth. And I don't know, I felt, especially now listening to everything, that this would be a perfect piece to read. It's called Raw Truth. Raw truth is not dressed for comfort. It does not ask to be pretty. It does not smooth its edges or hide behind carefully chosen words. It arrives unshaken, bare and bleeding, spitting out illusions like spoiled fruit, clawing through the silence with luminosity, like the morning light of the sunrise. Raw truth is both wound and balm. It stings because it heals. It is the salt of existence, the taste of what is real when all else is stripped away. It does not whisper. It roars loudly in your chest, a primal sound that shatters constriction, an earthquake that shakes your core, exposing the silent epidemic of denial. Raw truth does not flatter, does not bend, does not perform. It simply is. Naked, visceral emotion, unapologetic honesty, unfiltered refinement, a voice that says, no more hiding. Raw truth, it's not cruel, though it can feel merciless. It is the fierce hand of liberation, ripping off the bandage so that truth can finally breathe. The rawness in its ferocity lies the pulse of what is real. It is the pain that dwells enlightenment, the light that was meant, that is meant. It is bareness lies, or in its bareness lies its precision. Raw truth is the mirror so many fear and crave in equal measure. It is both the knife and the key, cutting us open only to free what has been caged inside us all along. Cosmic Oracle.
It's out.
I saw
Snaps
myself.
out.
I saw
Snaps out
myself.
to
I saw
that.
myself, man.
That was beautiful.
That was wow.
Mm-hmm.
That was the truth of RADA. You just
I
heard,
was thinking that, Rada. I'm not
you
kidding.
just
I'm
heard a
thinking like,
description
this
of
is just
RADA.
Rada. Raw truth.
Raw truth. You can't, there's only one truth. The truth.
Right.
Only one truth. It's not your truth, my truth. It's the truth. And that's raw truth.
Mm-hmm.
We could sugarcoat it, but it's still the truth.
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
We could sugarcoat it. We could, it's, and people start dissecting truth nowadays. They're like, well, is it the absolute truth or it's just, no, it's truth. Truth is truth. You can't dissect truth.
No.
You can't say it's almost like a lie. A lie is a lie. This whole color thing is a white lie or is no, it's a lie. But I'll say this, there's always truth in a lie.
Yeah, but which one is more easier to dissect, the truth or the lie?
I think both. I think it depends because there's always truth and a lie. So if either way we can go, especially me. You don't want to ask me that question because I'm going to see the truth in the lie and I'm going to see it's the same thing. Like a lie, you're always going to see truth. To every lie, there's some truth.
Well, I think
it's just once you contaminate the truth, it turns into a lie.
Well, I think some truths come from lies, and vice versa.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, they both constitute each other's existence, like life and death.
But how does some truth come from a lie? How does that? Yes, that's exactly what we're saying. The same thing.
Yeah. So yeah, exactly.
We're saying the same thing. We're actually saying the same thing. It's You know what I mean? It's just that I don't. There's truth in a lie. Now, if there's lie in the truth,
Yeah.
it's like, what is it, a one drop rule? Like if you're saying the truth but you omitted something, you're not saying the truth. You omit it. People think that they can get away with omitting too. That's another one.
Yes.
Because you still go to jail for omitting.
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, but omitting is not a lie. It's just that
It's not the whole truth.
right. There
That's
you
And
my
nothing
point.
but the truth.
It's not. That's what I mean. It's so if you're lacking to say the truth, well, you're not. People get away with that. Like, oh, but
Right.
I didn't say it, but you're not exempt from omitting. So then you gotta study the intention behind omission.
Right. It wasn't the fullness of there's missing pieces, right?
Right. It has to be unambiguous. It has to be no room for questioning, whether it's a pretty one or an ugly one. Then we have the pretty truth and the ugly truth. You know, wherever you're resonating, that's really it. The energy you're putting behind what you're saying. And I think we're living in a time where we mix, and in Spanish we say mezcla la dinga con la mandinga. You know, you have to know you gotta, like we say, speaking rice and beans, you know, let it be an absolute, because there's no such thing as half the truth, you know, because if it's half the truth, then it's a lie. That's what I feel. Like I can't accept that it's not admissible. It's not admissible. If you're leaving out certain, you know what I mean? Like if you're leaving some things out, and then we start calling it, becomes fraudulent. Look at the words we're using, fraudulent.
Yeah.
You know, then we're just, you know, and then they start using the legalese, and we start putting all those words in there. That's why we say there's a difference between legalese and lawful versus legal. You know, we get into all that. Oh my God, like I said, I studied, and that gave me headaches. Shout out to y'all.
You gotta see Dr. Poetry do this with Spanish words.
Oh, I like to do that in Spanish. It's coming soon, yeah, coming soon. Especially next week, we may have a Spanish word of the day, because we are celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. I have a problem with that whole thing, because I kind of like, part of me wants to say Hispanic, Latin. Those are words that I don't even know what to say anymore. You know what I mean? But for the sake of going into that rabbit hole, which will be going into that rabbit hole and what in the Borinquen, that's a different show. But big shout out to Mr. Rada Dada and you, Cosmic Oracle, and More Better Chiz. I know More Better Chiz had a couple of things pending, but he says shout out to all of y'all. He says he loves all of y'all, and make sure y'all follow Mr. More Better Chiz. He's on all different platforms. Rada Dada, where can we find you? Tell your viewers where they can find you. Where they
I'm on an application called Fanbase. Fanbase, you can find Rada Dada.
Okay.
We got stereo.
Absolutely, stereo.
We got YouTube.
He's on YouTube as well. TikTok.
Yeah.
Instagram as well, right?
Instagram, yeah.
Are you on Facebook?
Yeah. But
I'm telling you, Dada is all over the place, man.
Yeah, but I don't dwell too much in a fan base, not fan base.
Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook. I use. It's getting confusing, I'm telling you.
There's so many platforms.
I love it. Dada, you think you'll come back next week with us? Because I would love to have you again next week.
Well, if you love to have me, then I should oblige you.
That would be wonderful. Absolutely. So we are getting
Let us know where you're going to be at. Tell us where they can find you, Cosmic. Where they can find you.
So I'm pretty much on all the same platforms. I mainly, I stereo, fan base, TikTok, and IG and YouTube. I would say those are. I'm on Facebook. Facebook's a little different. I don't go on there live, or do things of that nature. I just post, and the same with IG. But I'll go live and do more work in stereo, fan base, TikTok, and YouTube. Also, I have my online store, and I'm in the process. It's open. It's out there. Life is Poetry Art. It's right next to my name.
Yes. Make sure y'all follow her and make sure y'all go in there and see those goodies. She got some great merch. I love it.
And I'm in the process of, bear with me, I'm restructuring it, but it's open and available. But yeah, I just want to make some changes to it. So
of course, the seasons change. We have to change, right? Guys, definitely make sure you follow everyone. And as you know, make sure you stop at www.badgeofpearls.com. Shout out to Badge of Pearls LLC. And definitely www.hearmeoutpoetry.com. It is our website. You guys can pick watches there. You can look at our stuff. We are available. Okay. And before we go, I love y'all. Thank you, Rada, for being here in COSMIK. Absolutely. Shout out to Mr. CHIZ.
My pleasure.
And I'm going to leave y'all with one little, it's like a vintage retro throwback. Shout out to the Hispanic Heritage Month. We're going to celebrate that by playing this. And I'll see y'all next week. All right. Love y'all. I love it.
Let's go.
Badge of Pearls was created with the wisdom from time and experience. Like a pearl, takes years to form. It comes from the constant effort and time an oyster puts into changing something painful into a beautiful and bearable outcome. My wisdom comes from time and effort invested in learning from mistakes and turning them into something positive. Pearls teach us to use unavoidable pain to gain insight and create beauty. I'm Dr. Poetry.
When the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, then peace will guide the planets and love will steer the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Harmony and understanding, sympathy and truth.
Niñitos de mi corazón, ha llegado el momento de decirles muy buenas noches y hasta mañana, mis chiquilines, que duerman bien. Este cuchicho se va a hacer no y ustedes también. Muy buenas noches, hasta mañana, hasta mañana. Este perrito se va a la cucha y los niños a la cama. Ya, que duerme.
Poesía. Poetry. Greek meaning poesía. I create, yo creo, conveying love, at times some anger, lyrical yet magical methods of manifestations. I love it. A way of remembering, holding on to memory, preservation is called poetry. Predating literacy in many languages, 9 elements of poetry, alliteration, assonance, consonance, figurative language, poetry. I love the imagery. Rhyme with me, feeling the rhythm, sometimes bongos, but today cover me. I'm going in with drums and violins. I'm Dr. Poetry, I dancer while I write a stanza, choosing wisely my tone, bailando el son, escuchando la clave. Each feeling the recentering rapidly to the movement of my pen as I express my thoughts through poem. What many refer to poetry, but was Latin really derived from the Romans? Negative, it's from the Phoenicians. Latin realmente no derivó de los romanos. After all, aren't we all hermanas y hermanos? Honors to all languages as we keep creating. We may all be speaking, but are we really communicating? I see you over there playing investigator all in my hair, pero yo no me ha muerto para que me estén velando. Entiendo lo que estoy falando, mi filia. Fica con calma, nene. No fica así, no. No fica con rabia, no. No one is shaming you for speaking different languages that connect us all. There's always truth in the lie, and I choose to rely on my frequency. But for me, it's the ability to express my thoughts in several languages. After all, the point of it all is to connect and not disconnect. Protection for the connection. Embrace my affection. In poetica dieri, soy doctora poesía. Soy la doctora poesial. Oh, I que aconteció como lengua latina. Ella es extinta. What happened to the Latin language? Is it extinct? Is it dead? Está muerto, que un mergulano inició de latín. ¿El dónde veo? ¿De dónde vino? Phoenician derived, said the Romanos. So they added CIC to create a romantic language of French, Romanian, Spanish, and Portuguese. Poesía. There's always truth in a lie, and I choose to rely on my frequency to embrace all dialects, accents that beautifully remind us of our diversified ancestry. Poesía sounds like a lot, right? I love it. Speaking Latin, Portuguese, and Spanish, but where did it come from? Phoenician. No one is shaming you for speaking different languages. Ninguém tá falando mentira, meu filho. Fica com calma, neném. Da mão não fica assim, não. There's always truth in a lie, and I choose to rely on my frequency. Frequency. Ninguém me está avergonhando você por falar diferente. A linguagem que nos conecta a todos. Eu amo poesia com toda minha alma. Poesia. Feel free to hate on me. I'm Dr. Poetry, and I love poetry.